You can only be a man, a woman, or trans. So there is this piece of shit named Lilly Tino who is pretending to be trans and recently went into the women's restroom at Disneyland.
So let's look at Lilly Tino's response because, you know, Big Lilly, Big L, taking big L's this year, Lilly, does have a response.
I took those photos with a very clear goal in mind.
This is a net positive that he's doing this, but I would just be so fake if I didn't tell this story. Welcome back to the Blair White Project podcast. I am your host, Blair White. That's obvious. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I'm feeling very bloated. Your host is bloated today. And I didn't really want to get on camera because of that. I'm just feeling very large and in charge from all the food. However, I'm here. And thank God I ate beforehand because I know I'm about to lose my appetite talking about some of these hoes and reading some of these stories. But first up, we have a Jeffree Star story. Let's see. Jeffree Star is getting dragged for, quote, transphobic comments made on podcast. So I saw a couple short clips. I didn't want to watch them because I wanted to watch them here with you guys and see what's going on. Can someone remind, I don't even remember the beef I have with Jeffree Star. I feel like there was definitely something that happened prior to the pandemic before we all incurred brain damage. But I feel like, you know, anything that happened before the pandemic is definitely a different run of the simulation. Like, we definitely timeline leaped, so I don't really remember. But regardless, put it in the comments if you remember. But let's watch the clips.
Nowadays, we have grown men with beards wearing dresses going into the women's restroom. When I was younger, any normal person that felt like they were born in the wrong body was trying to be passable. And they were really wanting to live their life as a woman. And if you really think psychologically you were born in the wrong body, unfortunately, it's like a mental illness. But people hear illness and they just have a full spiral. So
pause. Tell me he didn't watch a Blair White video before going on this podcast. Dump this brown powder in your coffee and become 27% harder to kill. So this is Black Forest high flavanol cocoa powder, and here is what is insane. A study with 21,000 people showed that this might reduce a heart attack by 27%. Cocoa flavanols keep your arteries flexible, and in regular chocolate, 90% of the flavanols are destroyed during the processing. It's kind of like the difference between putting water in your gas tank or high octane. And Harvard ran this study called the Cosmos trial, which was the biggest study on cocoa ever. So I'm going to show you this video with Dr. Eric Berg, one of the most watched health educators on YouTube, where he talks about all the benefits of cocoa.
Amazing benefits for the heart. Decreased blood pressure because you're getting increased nitric oxide, which actually helps the smooth muscle of the arteries. Now, the blood pressure effect can also happen due to high levels of magnesium. It's also loaded with iron and potassium and copper and phosphorus and zinc. Number two, it can increase your HDL, decrease your LDL, especially the oxidized LDL. Number three, major studies showing the decrease in risk of heart disease.
And that is exactly why I switched to Black Forest high flavanol cocoa. It's not candy, it's performance fuel. Every scoop delivers the same active compounds that Harvard researchers linked to cardiovascular support, better blood flow, and even sharper focus. Think of it like your insurance policy. Inside out protection for your heart, brain, and stamina. So I've been putting this in my coffee every single morning. It's the first thing I put in my body every single day. And I'm telling you, within 10 minutes, I am ready to go. It's the best. It just really hits different than your regular cup. And here's the bottom line. This is the final week to stock up. After this week, the buy one, get one free deal is going to be gone. So if you've been thinking about trying it, you need to act right now before it's gone again. Hit the link in the description or pinned comment below, grab the deal while it lasts, and take control of your health before someone else does it for you. Thank you so much to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring today's episode of the podcast, and now on to the rest of the podcast. I feel like I could close my eyes, and this is just a Blair White video.
So this new age of weirdos and predators trying to pretend they're trans or pretend they're this and harm women and children, that's my issue.
And thank you for saying pretend to be trans, because I feel like that point is so lost, and we've been so in the trenches with all this trans stuff that we forget it's at the end of the day, yeah, trans is living as a woman, pretending to be a woman, whatever. But these people are so much further down the totem pole, they're pretending to be trans. They're really that far in the trenches that they're pretending to be somebody who pretends to be trans because they're a pervert. So that is an important distinction. By the way, I don't know what it is about me and Jeffree Star. I just have stories. There's a story I want to tell in a second. We're going to keep watching the clip. I think he's about to drag Lilly Tino, which is good. And we're going to watch Lilly Tino's reaction, by the way. But I do have a Jeffree Star story.
So there is this piece of shit named Lilly Tino who is pretending to be trans and recently went into the women's restroom at Disneyland. Disneyland's for children. Yes, there's adults that like Disney. We know that. And the camera's rolling. I'm sorry, there's a 7-year-old that just walked behind you. Why the fuck are you in a little training bra and lipstick, clearly with a man's voice, in the women's restroom filming? Rage bait, attention. These things did not exist 10 years ago. So people love to misconstrue what I said, and that's really what I meant. And I think that we should be protecting women and children at all costs these days.
Lilly Tino is a piece of shit. Very much so. 8 with that. And Lilly Tino did respond. We're going to watch the response. But also the little training bra comment took me out. Yeah, I think it is a really important distinction. These people pretend to be trans. And really, you know, I feel like it's just like social media. I was thinking about the other day, like it really was a wrap when social media was invented. Like I've made a living off of it. I would not take it away. Like it is what it is. But it's really social media is when everything kind of just ended. Just like he mentioned back in the day when it comes to trans. And I have mutual friends with Jeffree that are trans. I know he's close with a lot of trans people. So that's why he's kind of explaining it the way he is. Like, yes, God forbid we remind people that that's what it used to be about. It used to be about actually living as a woman and acclimating to society. And just the social contract of like, first of all, just the social contract of bathroom use in general, which has nothing to even do with trans, which is like nobody wants an issue in the bathroom. And if you do, that's automatically a huge issue. But yeah, like you used to actually try to give the appearance and demeanor of a woman. And if you couldn't, then you couldn't be trans. And it just was what it was. But now you have people like this. And obviously, you know, but I do have a story. I'm so sorry because I agree with Jeffree Star. And honestly, I do feel like this is important that somebody, I'll say this before I tell this story, which is kind of like, ugh. I'm going to give Jeffree his props. He definitely is doing what I have been, you know, begging the rest of the LGBT community to talk about forever. And so it is good to see that there are people with a big platform that are talking like this, because this is a cultural shift that needs to happen, not just outside of the community, but within it, right? Like that's the key to actually changing things. So this is a net positive that he's doing this, but I would just be so fake if I didn't tell this story, which is kind of funny. So Jeffree's talking about like men and women's bathrooms, right? Jeffree's a man. Jeffree doesn't identify as anything other than that. And y'all know, and I still do rock with a throwback, you know, J Star song if you want to put it on. But in high school, I was a Jeffree Star fan and I went to a couple concerts of his. And one of them, this is just too on the nose and no one's even going to believe it. So my mom was in the restroom at a Jeffree Star concert at the venue that I went to see Jeffree Star play his little music when I was like maybe 16 or 17. And, you know, your mom comes with you to concerts when you're a kid. She's in the women's restroom, obviously, my mother, because she's giving mother. She gave birth to a human being. And Jeffree Star was in the bathroom with his friend, who's also a gay male. And from my mom's perspective, how she told it was, he told my mom, "Get the fuck out of my way, cunt," in the women's restroom.
Are you serious?
So maybe my mom's lying on Jeffree, but I highly doubt it. This is a story that goes back when I was in high school, right? So, you know, this is, what would this be, like 2008, 2009? So, you know, all's forgiven. But like maybe Jeffree's come to this because he learned a few lessons about being a bit of an issue in a bathroom himself. I'm just saying. But overall, again, so long ago, things were much different. But how I remember it is he had a big old purse in the women's restroom and pushed past my mom and said, "Get the fuck out my way." Now, why he didn't have a private restroom as talent at the venue, I don't know. But that's what happened. So, you know, my own story aside, again, you know, net positive that Jeffree's talking about this now and came to Jesus a bit, right? So let's look at Lilly Tino's response because, you know, Big Lilly, Big L, taking big L's this year, Lilly, does have a response.
I took those photos with a very clear goal in mind, which was to show a non-passing trans woman existing peacefully in a bathroom. There are a lot of opinions out there, especially from people like Jeffree, that we're faking it, that we are, just in bathrooms to cause trouble and hurt women and children, and none of that's true. It's ridiculous. Like, we are in the bathroom for the same reason as you. So it begs the question, how do we solve?
But you're not, right? Because and I just hate how everyone overlooks this. And I wish Jeffree even would have talked about this on the thing. It's fine. Like, I feel like no one talks about the fact that Lilly Tino was caught talking to a minor. Like, in my videos, I'm not going to go one video ever about this person ever again without talking about it, showing the clip, whatever, because it's been a wrap on you making any sort of like doing this act of like, we're just trying to exist. And about showing a non-passing trans woman existing peacefully. Well, no one would even see that if you didn't have a camera, right? The peaceful thing would have been not to have the camera in. Also, I just really can't do the cherry red lipstick. It's offensive. See, there are certain colors that are offensive on the face. And to be able to pull off a red lip like that, I don't know who lied to you several times and told you that you could. But it's really not working. And with red hair, I mean, it's giving Ronald McDonald. The hair even, like, it's giving Ronald.
It's the question, how do we solve the problem of people see us, they're afraid because of what they've heard. It's not actually true.
Is it what they've heard or what it's what you've shown them. It's actually not what they've heard. See, if there was just this lore, right, that people like you were a problem, but there was never actually any evidence, like you getting caught talking to kids or you being inappropriate in the bathrooms with the cameras, right? If that didn't exist, then maybe you would have an argument, but you don't. So here's another Jeffree clip.
You can only be a man, a woman, or trans. I am not gay. I am just open and very me. There's obviously a lot of gay people out there that only like a certain thing. That's great. LGB is it. Q and T, get off the alphabet, sweetie. You should be in your own category. Okay? Let me break it down for you straights. Lesbian, gay, and bi. Is that not a sexuality?
That's a sexuality, yes.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
What you think your identity is has nothing to do with what you're sexually attracted to. So why is T and Q on LGB? And then what the fuck that means. LGB, gay, lesbian, and bi, that is your preference of who you are attracted to and what you like. Your identity issues and who you think you are is so separate. I don't agree that they should be together. You can only be a man, a woman, or trans.
I mean, I agree. I hate the fake ass coalition. I hate that fake ass loyalty. You know what I mean? Because also this whole idea of like, it's all one big happy community. It's really not. It's a whole lot of nastiness. It's a whole lot of bullshit. It's a whole lot of people beefing with each other. Gays got issues with lesbians. Lesbians got issues with trans. Trans got issues with gays. It's a wrap. It is interesting he said he's not gay because I thought he was okay with that label. I mean, I literally just thought he was gay. But, you know, it reminds me like this, he does come from the time, and I kind of come from the time. I'm a lot younger than Jeffree, but I was, you know, I came up in this era where like people didn't have all these labels. You know what I mean? Like I hate that I even have the trans label, if I'm being honest. Like people act like I don't know. The last time I said the words I'm trans in real life is like, I don't even know. When's the last time I had to like, it's just not a thing. Like my I'm trans and I'm Christian video. It's like, yeah, the title is a YouTube title and supposed to be salacious. It's not like I identify with being trans as much as I identify with just being me. You know what I mean? That's why I'm not glued to all these rules that trans people have about how you're supposed to talk about them, how you're supposed to understand it or relate to it. So I think we should go in the direction of just Xing out all these labels. It's just so unnecessary. And that's one of the things that is a more spiritually enlightened perspective to have, because we all are human beings no matter what. Right. And maybe that's the key, is just seeing each other as human beings again, and not all of these labels, not all of these little things that should be aspects of who you are, not the totality of who you are. And I think we all play into it. So it's not like I'm better than anybody who, rides these labels out. But some of y'all ride these labels and you don't even fit, like a Lilly Tino. Right. That is just straight up a pervert. That is just straight up a sex pest, a maniac, a disease, a sickness, an illness. Lilly Tino should be in prison. How do you get caught talking to kids and you're not in jail? That's what I don't understand. I know we don't arrest any of the rich pedos, right? If you're on that Epstein list, you're good. But I thought we still were arresting the poor ones. We can't do nothing about Lilly Tino? Really? But shout out to Jeffree. Jeffree, if you're watching, I don't remember our beef. I don't really have any beef anymore. I'll even forgive you for calling my mom a It was a different time. I don't know. Thank you so much to Black Forest Supplements for sponsoring this episode of the Blaire White Project podcast. Make sure you guys go check them out in the link below. Make sure you guys follow me on this channel as well as or subscribe to me on this channel as well as my main channel. Follow me on X, Instagram, TikTok, and all of the things. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.